a je to jedna z takových typických obav, především rodičů, že je to strašně daleko, velká vzdálenost. Jsou i přímo ve městě pláže, anebo opravdu ve vzdálenosti klidně 30 minut, tam velmi malý vlastně znečištění oblohy, ten světelný smog, tak prostě se podíváte a ta Mléčná dráha tam je prostě každý večer. Škola taky nabízí spoustu předmětů, hlavně právě těch zaměřenou na praxi. A v tomhle žebříčku stojí asi nejvýše na celém světě v porovnání s programy na středních školách i v jiných zemích.
Právě sledujete záznam přednášky o studiu na středních školách na Novém Zélandu. V popisku videa najdete odkaz na celý záznam, kde se mimo jiné poslechnete 3 zélandské střední školy. A teď zpátky k videu.
Kia ora. My name is Kendall. I'm the director at Sancta Maria College in Auckland. I think some of the slides may have changed. With
explain, because of the...
We'll blame.
Yeah,
you. We'll blame you. Okay. Okay, so you want to...
Takže Kendall ze Sancta Maria College, která se nachází v Aucklandu.
Okay. Sancta Maria College is a school in Auckland that's on a large property in Auckland. We've got lots of space around us, and we are a relatively new school compared to some of the other schools in Auckland and throughout New Zealand, but we're probably not as old as some of the schools you have here. We are only 21 years old. All of our classrooms are very spacious and well equipped. They're all Wi-Fi enabled. We're a digital school, so our school works on a Wi-Fi platform that we provide for all of our students.
Škola je stará pouze 21 let. Nachází se na obrovském 10hektarovém pozemku, takže všechno tam je velice prostorné, velké, takže i ty prostory v těch školách a samozřejmě všechno je velmi moderní vybavené.
There's a video in here. I'm not going to stop and show it, but you're welcome to look at our website, and I also can show you it when we're finished as well. You know where you are. I thought you might like to see where we are and where we are in the world compared to you. And so New Zealand feels like a long way from here, except what I've really understood about students that come from Europe is that when they come to New Zealand, they may be tired for one day, but these kids are resilient and they have a sleep and they bounce back the next day. The flight isn't a worry for them. It's probably more of a worry for us as adults, but they are just fine. They have one sleep.
Nový Zéland je sice daleko a je to jedna z takových typických obav především rodičů, že je to strašně daleko, velká vzdálenost, ale realita je taková, že dětem to až tak nevadí. Samozřejmě tam časový posun, jednou se vyspí, ale během 2 dnů jsou úplně v pohodě. A je to spíš obava náš dospělých než těch dětí.
So I think even though I couldn't understand what Peter was saying earlier, I'm pretty sure that he was telling you about where Auckland was and where Wellington is and that Wellington is our capital, but Auckland is the largest city in New Zealand. And we are in southeast Auckland, so that's where we are. And you can see that Auckland, it's a spread out city, but we're surrounded by water and have lots of beautiful places to visit as well.
Jo, Auckland je tady vlastně největším městem na Novém Zélandu. Tady vidíme letiště, tady vidíme vlastně to samotné centrum a Sancta Maria se tady nachází v té jižní části.
And you can see with the airport right here, we are only 30 minutes drive from the airport.
30 minut od letiště.
And we meet our students at the airport and take them directly to their homestay families. So it makes it a really easy transition for them.
Vaši studenti teda, nebo děti budou tady také přivítáni a odvezeni pak přímo do rodiny.
I won't talk about this too much, but I'm pretty sure you were saying something similar about this earlier, Peter, that Auckland is a great city to live in. There's a lot going on, and for those students that like to be in a city or like that fast pace of life, they can enjoy that in Auckland. But also, likewise, There are lots of other things that are really nearby Auckland. We have a lot of beaches around us. We have the ability to go on nature walks and enjoy those types of things. I'm actually really proud to be able to stand up here with my colleagues and showcase a really beautiful country to you, because whether you're in the city or whether you're in Northland or anywhere else in the country, you're going to find beautiful places to go to. And we're really fortunate that even in a city, you can enjoy that really lovely outdoors experience and nature in New Zealand anywhere.
Auckland je tady určitě skvělou destinací pro někoho, kdo preferuje město, jak jsme se bavili, který menší město. Auckland je teda město, který má všechno, co potřebujete, ale určitě velkou výhodou je to, že tím, že se nachází na oceánu nebo oceánu, jsou i přímo ve městě pláže, anebo opravdu ve vzdálenosti klidně 30 minut na západní nebo východní pobřeží jsou prostě pláže, kde se dají zase za aktivity, surfovat a tak dále. Takže i v tom městě se dá žít ten outdoor.
Okay.
Asi.
The thing that I have had students living with me at our house from Europe, and I've hosted students myself, and I took this photo one night when we were out because we were looking for kiwis, which is our national bird. But when we were out, all of the students were looking at the sky because what they were really fascinated by was how beautiful, clean air and perfect view of the southern stars and the Milky Way, and that was really special for them. So there's lots of things that you can see all throughout the country, but some of the natural beauty that we have is very, very special.
Jo. A tohle je jeden z momentů, kdy byli vlastně se studenty podívat, aby našli místního ptáka kivy, to jsem říká kiváci, ale všichni studenti prostě chodili a takhle koukali na tu oblohu. A ten důvod je takový, že na Zélandu je tam velmi malý vlastně znečištění oblohy, ten světelný smog, a prostě pomalu jakoukoliv noc, pokud teda nejste vloženě ve městě, tak prostě se podíváte a ta Mléčná dráha tam je prostě každý večer. Jo, takže to je určitě jako neuvěřitelný, jak tam krásně můžete pozorovat hvězdy. A to tam jsou pak ještě v oblasti, které jsou vyloženě ještě nejtmavější, kde prostě ty hvězdy jsou vidět. Je to něco prostě jiného, co tady nemáme. No. A ještě tam jsou i trošku jiný hvězdy, tím, že zase je to na té jižní polokouli, takže tam zase máme jiný hvězdy než tady.
The funny thing I was going to say is that the kiwi bird doesn't fly, so it's not in the sky, it's on the ground. So I was wanting them to look for the kiwi on the ground. They're like looking at the sky. This is our school here. We've got modern buildings. We have some large buildings for our classrooms. We only have 1,000 students in our school. We are a Catholic school, and our students at our school are Catholic, so our domestic role is Catholic, and we have a chapel at the back of our school there that the whole school can attend if they choose to. Attending Mass isn't compulsory, but we do have a Mass that you can go to once a term, and that involves the whole school. You can see we've also got a covered sports area here, all the field, a gymnasium, and then of course all the classrooms. And our international area is actually in here in the auditorium, and I can show you photos of that shortly.
Tohle tedy je kampus celé školy. Škola má 1000 studentů, jinak jedná se tedy o katolickou školu, to znamená, že místní studenti jsou katolíci. Pro mezinárodní studenty to ve výsledku ale nic neznamená. Jo, není potřeba, nebo není podmínkou katolíkem být. Na škole na kampusu se přímo nachází kaple. Návštěva té kaple je dobrovolná a akorát si jednou za celý to čtvrtletí se celá škola tam vlastně sejde, takže to je akorát jediná příležitost. Jinak co se týče celkové té víry, tak je to spíš o těch hodnotách, než o víře jako takový.
Okay. Just like all of the schools in New Zealand, we offer quite a diverse range of subjects as well, so that your students can come and study design or food or tourism or drama. There's many different subjects, and this is just a few examples of them. Hard materials, design. So we want our students' experience at Sancta Maria College to be one that's always happy and that they enjoy themselves. So we can create a special timetable, especially for them, so that we can make sure they have a custom timetable so they can do the subjects they like. And I'm sure my other colleagues have done the same thing. If there's a subject that you have started and perhaps you're not too keen about, then you can change as well. So we have a lot of flexibility in our schools, and the fact that we're all directors that are working in the school, we see your students every day. So we can see when they're happy, they can come and talk to us at any time, and they can tell us if there's something they might like to change and maybe experience something different.
Škola taky nabízí spoustu předmětů, hlavně právě těch zaměřenou na praxi, aby si studenti toho mohli co nejvíce vyzkoušet. Velkou výhodou je i to, že když by náhodou si studenti zapsali předmět, který by jim třeba nevyhovoval, není problém, dá se i vlastně změnit v průběhu toho studia, takže skvělá jako flexibilita. A určitě i, co platí u všech školách, není problém kdykoliv za vlastně a tady kolegyněmi prostě přijít a komunikovat cokoliv během toho pobytu.
We are a high academic achieving school, so a lot of the students that come to us, even as international students, like to complete their education in New Zealand so they can go to university. We have high rates of university entrance. So if that's something that appeals for your family and for your child, then we can help them on their pathway to university. Mm-hmm. But what we also can do is offer them an experience opportunity. They do not have to sit NCEA. We can also offer the opportunity to try different subjects without them having to sit the final exams at the end of the year. So it's just something we can be flexible with. But our school's focus overall in our school is a highly academic school.
Sancta Maria je jedna z těch škol, která je velmi zaměřená na akademickou stránku, a ta NCEA zkouška, to je vlastně to je zkouška, kterou studenti skládají na konci střední školy a je potřeba pro přijetí na univerzity, a v tomhle žebříčku si Sancta Maria stojí v top 10, to znamená, pokud by pro vás byla větší priorita ta akademická stránka, tak tohle je určitě skvělá příležitost, možnost.
Co-curricular and cultural activities are a really big part of our school. Being a Catholic school, part of our special character is the community work and the charitable work that we do, the volunteering work that we do in the community, and that's really quite big for us. And that's also really popular with the students to be involved in, especially coming from overseas, they have an opportunity to be involved in the local community. So that's something we can help an international student be involved in. Auckland is also a really big melting pot of different cultures. And at our school, we have many different cultures that reflect that. So at our school, there'll be many different cultural groups they can join or even be part of and watch as well when we have cultural activities. Our Maori culture is really strong and reflected a lot in our school. Joining kapa haka is important for many international students. They get a great taste, as you've already mentioned, Jessica, about our culture, and being part of those groups really helps them to enjoy. We do encourage all international students to be involved in something outside of everyday schoolwork. The arts, the environment, debating groups, anime clubs, everything. There are so many different clubs and groups that a student can join. It's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Celkově na Novém Zélandu je velký důraz na to být součástí vlastně té místní komunity a je to i součástí jejich kultury, to znamená i školy chtějí, aby se studenti co nejvíce zapojili do těch různých klubů, kroužků. A Auckland je i místem, kde je spousta různých národností a i vlastně na té škole přímo jsou různé komunity z různých kultur. Nemusí to být jenom ta zélandská nebo Maori, což jsou vlastně původní obyvatele, ale aby studenti mohli vlastně poznat i třeba jiné kultury. Takže určitě škola je ráda, když se do těchto komunit studenti zapojují.
Of course, sports as well. And many different sports that a student can join. Really, it is up to your child what they would like to do. If they come at a time of year when they can apply for the team or a team sport, then they go for the trials, the team trials, just like the New Zealand students do. So it's just whenever they would arrive would depend on what they could apply for, because sometimes we have summer sports, some are winter sports.
Možnosti sportu na škole, samozřejmě i je potřeba zohlednit roční období. Některé sporty se provozují třeba jenom v určitých částech roku.
Another really important part of our school and reflected really strongly is our arts department, but in particular our music department is very strong. So a student who has a specialty in an instrument or their voice or even digital music development will find that there's a lot to offer them at our school as well. So that's one of the parts of our arts department that's really strong. Orchestras, choirs, classical ensembles, pop groups, bands, we have a lot.
Velkou součástí školy je celkově hudba. Hraje tady někdo na hudební nástroj? Zpívá? Nebo někdo v nějaký kapele, něco takového? Okay. Takže určitě jako skvělá příležitost být součástí různých kapel, která pak hraje na třeba různých koncertech, akcích a tak dále. Takže hudba určitě.
We had a beautiful walk today over the Charles Bridge, and there was some music playing there and some great musicians on the bridge, and that was really lovely to see. It was very moving. Yeah.
Takže v Praze tady je spousta pouličních umělců.
Yeah, that was lovely. Okay. Performing arts, we have a school production that international students often get involved in. They enjoy the drama classes at our school, and once a year we put on a school production which is performed in a theatre visited by families and the local community, and it's really well supported. And I think this one was Greece. We have one every year, and it's a really popular thing to do for the students. It's a lot of fun.
Tohle je divadlo, kterého mají možnost studenti se zúčastnit, a na konci vlastně roku je pak vlastně představení pro celou školu a komunitu.
Our pastoral care at school is something I just wanted to touch on, because I think it's really important for parents that you know that when you send your child to New Zealand, we know that you've also given the most precious thing in the world for you to us to look after. And that goes for my other two colleagues here as well. We're at school looking after your baby, the most precious thing you have, and we look after them like they're our own. But it's not just us. We always have a team of other people that can help as well, whether that's counsellors at the school, whether it's the career advisors, whether it's the medic team, whoever it is, we can help, including homestay support, which it's a really strong criteria in New Zealand that homestay support is carefully monitored. We have a lot of contact with our homestays. It's a very involved part of the students' experience. So we ensure that their pastoral experience and their care is probably, I think, the best around the world from what we've been listening to over the last few days. I think we've got a very impressive record with our pastoral care in New Zealand overall.
A zelandské školy si uvědomují to, že na Zéland posíláte to nejcennější, co máte, což jsou vaše děti. A je tam obrovský důraz na to, aby měli veškerou podporu po všech stránkách. Je tam i obrovský důraz na vlastně pravidelného kontaktu s tou hostitelskou rodinou, jo, jak se vlastně student má a tak dále. A je tam podpora ve všech možných oblastech, s tím, že je možné, že i Zélandci v tomhle žebříčku stojí asi nejvýše na celém světě v porovnání s programy na středních školách i v jiných zemích.
We are a faith-based school, and religious education is part of our education. However, it is not compulsory in the senior years for international students to attend religious education classes. It is part of the junior curriculum, but if they choose to, it is available as an option for them in senior school. But it is part of what makes our school, or gives our school our special character, and it's a really important part of our school, so all of our students respect our religious education.
Víra je tedy velkou součástí školy s tím, že pro mezinárodní studenty je zcela dobrovolná, v jakém měřítku se vlastně budou na tom participovat. Jediné co, aby samozřejmě studenti respektovali, že ta škola je katolická a jejich víru.
We don't teach students to be Catholic because they're already Catholic when they come to our school as domestic students. International students, we're not trying to make them Catholic either. So it's just a matter of experiencing the school with the Catholic education, but it's also about helping students to understand and appreciate a range of worldwide views, but we're not trying to make anybody Catholic when they come to our school.
Ta víra se v žádném měřítku vlastně na škole vůbec nevyučuje, protože ty místní studenti už katolíci jsou, to znamená, tam nedochází k žádnému jakoby přesvědčování a tak dále. A to není vlastně vyžadováno tedy ani po těch mezinárodních studentech.
Okay. This is an area that is exclusive for our international students at our school, and we're very proud of this area because it's a beautiful part of the school, but it's just for our international students who have a space when they want to. We also will, when your student arrives, give them a buddy in the school. So if they don't want to come and have this area and enjoy this area, they may just be out in the school hanging with their buddy and their friends or people that they've met in the school. But if they are the sort of student, sort of child who would maybe like to have a bit of their own space and a little bit of time where they don't have to be listening in English all the time, they could relax a little bit and have their own space. We have this really beautiful area. My office is just to the side of here. My admin staff and my home staff are just through those glass doors there. So we see our international students all the time, every day. I've only got about nearly 50 international students. Most of them will use this area. Some, they don't come in, but I know my students. I see them all the time. I see what they're having for lunch. I see how their uniform's looking. I can make sure that they're all right, as do the rest of my staff. So for me, this is not just an area for them to come in and hang out with their friends, but it's also an area where I get to see them, and we're approachable. They can come and see us. Our office doors are open, and we're right there for them to come and see.
Tohle jsou prostory vyhrazené přímo pro mezinárodní studenty, kteří tam mohou trávit čas. Samozřejmě i na Sancta Marie mají toho svého buddyho, to znamená člověka nebo toho místního studenta, který se tam o ně stará, ale v některých případech třeba studenti chtějí trošku více soukromí, možná klidu, přece jenom je to nový prostředí, 1000 prostě studentů, tak tohle jsou prostory, kde mohou trávit čas. A zároveň tam vlastně se nachází Kendall i se svým týmem, kde právě mezinárodní studenty mohou pravidelně potkávat a ujišťovat se, že je všechno v pořádku a mají se dobře.
I might just point out something here in these photos, that these are all students from Asia, Southeast Asia, Japan, China, because that's where our school has marketed to in the past. We are just starting to have students coming to New Zealand from Europe. So we've got a very multicultural school, but if you are, as a student, are trying to work on your English, be immersed in a culture, you're not going to find too many students from the Czech Republic, because it's a new area for us. So I think that's also it's either a good thing or it's a bad thing for your family. It's really up to you. But for some, that's a really great opportunity, because it means that they're not going to just form groups of the same, and then they can get to know other people in other cultures.
Jedním z faktů je to, že většina těch mezinárodních studentů je dosud z Asie, nicméně do školy už teďka přijíždějí noví a noví studenti i z Evropy, takže je ten záběr mezinárodních studentů více pestřejší. Výhodou bude to, že tam pravděpodobně nebude nikdo jiný z Česka nebo ze Slovenska, i když samozřejmě je možné se na to podívat i z té druhé stránky, že to může být i trošičku nevýhoda, ale rozhodně po stránce angličtiny a prostě proniknutí do těch ostatních kultur a seznámení se s ostatními je to velká výhoda.
Our accommodation is also homestay based. We do have some designated caregivers, which is a family that can be recommended by family, but it's quite not as common. And every now and again, we may have a parent that has also come to New Zealand, and so they can come on a parent guardianship visa as well. So that is possible. But most of our students live in a homestay that, as I mentioned before, we monitor really closely and we have a lot to do with, and we choose, and they're usually part of our school community. So students would be coming to school with a family, often by car, and brought in with their other students, or they'd be catching the school bus. And they usually live within the close vicinity of the school as well. So it makes it really easy and they get to feel like they're part of the family.
Studenti tady ve většině případech bydlí v hostitelské rodině. V některých případech mohou bydlet přímo se svými rodiči, pokud tam žijí nebo jsou na nějakých vízech. S tím, že Auckland už je samozřejmě větší město, jsou tam větší vzdálenosti, ale i tak rodiny jsou v dostupné vzdálenosti a ve většině případech ty hostitelské rodiny vozí autem studenty do školy, anebo je možné využít školní autobus.
I think also for some of the students in the room here, it's also important to note that if you moved into a homestay family, and even though that was the one that we recommended to you before we met you, you know, sometimes personalities aren't always a perfect fit. And if you want to move, we can help you move. We can take you to somewhere else when you're in the country, and you can meet the next family and go and meet some other people before you moved in with them. So in most cases, it works out really well, but it doesn't mean that you have to stay there if it doesn't. We want to make your experience as lovely as possible. So if it isn't working well, and in one of those meetings that we've been having, or you've come and told my homestay coordinators that perhaps things aren't as great, or you're not enjoying it as much as you would have liked, then we can move you.
Co je velkou výhodou. Nestává se to často, aby student byl v rodině nespokojený. Je to zase jedna z těch asi největších obav, protože ta hostitelská rodina je tou důležitou součástí celé té zkušenosti a možná i často je to ta důležitější část než ta škola jako taková, protože to je to místo, kde ten student tráví většinu toho času a chce se tam cítit dobře. Takže když by náhodou to tam nějakým způsobem nekliklo, není problém tu rodinu změnit.
We take our international students on a trip once a year, somewhere around the country. So whether it's to the lovely Bay of Islands, whether it's to the South Island, whether it's the Coromandel, there are many, many beautiful places in New Zealand. And so I choose somewhere every year to take our students to. It's not compulsory, it's an option, but it's really a beautiful opportunity for a student to get to see another part of the country, which is more like sightseeing. It's not necessarily an educational trip. It's just about seeing another beautiful, picturesque part of New Zealand.
I Sancta Maria pořádá každoročně nebo během toho roku spoustu různých výletů, aby studenti mohli tu zemi co nejvíce poznat.
It's Hobbiton.
Tady například Hobbitín. Někdo fanoušek Pána prstenů? Někdo fanoušek Pána prstenů? A byl jste tenkrát v Hobbitín? Jo. Tam ještě nebyl, že jo? Tak já jsem dlouhou dobu odolával, jestli tam vlastně mám jít, protože mi to přišlo takový až jakoby hodně turistický, ale nakonec jsem byl poblíž, tak jsem neodolal a do Hobbitína zavítal. A bylo strašně zajímavé vidět vlastně ten příběh, když oni natáčeli tenkrát Pána prstenů, tak vlastně z vrtulníku hledali nějakou lokalitu a tam právě jižně od Aucklandu, takové oblasti, právě našli takový jako kopce, kde by to bylo možné jako zrealizovat. Takže oni tam vlastně veškeré tyhle domečky jakoby postavili, ale potom na natáčení všechno zdemolovali. Jo, a byl tam vlastně majitel toho, ten farmář, a za ním prostě jezdili ty fanoušci a prostě on už jim tenkrát ukazoval, jako jo, tady to stálo a nějaký fotky a prostě i tak už jako do toho lidi byli strašně moc zainteresovaní. A pak vlastně produkce přišla o pár let později, že chce natočit ještě film Hobbit, tak ten farmář řekl, dobře, ale s jednou podmínkou, že tentokrát tady ty domečky prostě zůstanou. A tak prostě vznikl jejich business půl na půl. A je to samozřejmě nejnavštěvovanější atrakce na celém Zélandu. Tenkrát, když jsem tam byl, tak tam snad chodí asi 5000 turistů denně. Jako obrovská atrakce, ale je to nádherný, je to fakt hezký.
I'm sure you said more than me. But the other thing I was going to say is that these are student-centered trips. So there's adventure in them, there's excitement, there's cool things to go on. So it's not just about sightseeing. There's many, we focus it for the students. So it could be an adventure trip and ziplining through treetops, or it could be skiing in the South Island. There's, it's always a great trip. It's a real highlight.
Nejrůznější aktivity, není to jenom navštívit ty místa, ale i zažít, takže to jsou zase nejrůznější outdoorové aktivity, ať už lyžování, nějaký různý lanový atrakce a tak.
We also have a graduation at the end of our year for our long-term students that complete our final year. So as they go on to university, we do a graduation ceremony for them. For the ones that have studied NCA with us or have completed their education with us, then we give them a really special farewell at the last part of the year. And all international students are invited to that.
Tohle je vlastně graduation pro ty mezinárodní studenty, kteří tam studují dlouhodobě a tu školu tam vlastně dokončují.
Yeah. And that's the conclusion of my presentation. If you'd like to ask me anything else, you're welcome to. I won't hold up Linda because we will be available at the end of our presentations for you to come and ask us any questions of. But thank you very much for listening.